Hello, this is the second in a series of videos about Napoleon Bonaparte, but specifically it's linked to the Cambridge AS and A-level history syllabus. This one is intended as background to part of the section entitled What Were Napoleon Bonaparte's Domestic Aims and Achievements from 1799 to 1814? And today I'm looking at Napoleon's initiatives as First Consul and his use of propaganda and other means of control. After the coup in 1799, Napoleon's first significant move was to overhaul the existing governmental structure. He, along with his co-conspirators, abolished the Directory and replaced it with a consulate through the constitution of the year VIII in the revolutionary calendar. This new constitution set up a government that appeared to be Republican, but was actually controlled from the center. Consulate was led by 3 consuls, but in practice, the first consul, Napoleon himself, held the real power. This position granted him the authority to issue decrees, appoint ministers, generals, and other key officials, and to conduct foreign affairs, effectively making him the de facto ruler of France. The centralization of executive powers was a crucial aspect of Napoleon's strategy to consolidate authority. As first consul, his influence was felt across all levels of government. The constitution of the year VIII cleverly positioned him as a guardian of the revolution's gains, while also entrusting him with the responsibility of guiding the nation to stability. By centralizing power, Napoleon was able to reduce the influence of potentially hostile factions and streamline decision-making processes, thereby enhancing governmental efficiency and responsiveness. He skillfully crafted an image of himself as the savior of France. Through meticulous use of censorship, propaganda, and the manipulation of public symbols and rituals, he presented himself as a figure destined to bring glory and prosperity to the nation. The strategic shaping of his public image was crucial in maintaining his power and justifying his rule, especially in a nation suffering from the effects of the revolution and yearning for stability and strong leadership. Napoleon's far-reaching approach to censorship was a foundation for controlling the narrative around his leadership. Upon assuming power, one of his first actions was to clamp down on the press. He reduced the number of newspapers in Paris from over 60 to just 4, all of which came under the direct control of his regime. And this allowed him to suppress dissenting views and criticisms that could undermine his authority or destabilize his regime. Journalists were required to obtain government approval before publishing news that related directly to the government actions or policies, ensuring that only favorable reports and editorials saw the light of day. And this tight control over the media also prevented the French public from accessing foreign news sources that might contradict the official state narrative. By monopolizing information, Napoleon could shape public perception without interference, presenting himself as the indispensable leader who brought order and direction after the chaos of the revolution. Propaganda was another critical tool in Napoleon's arsenal. He was adept at using it to cultivate a public image of a heroic and visionary leader. Official bulletins, newspapers, and other publications glorified his achievements, often exaggerating successes and minimizing or even ignoring failures. For example, after the Battle of Austerlitz, one of his greatest military victories, the state-controlled newspapers were filled with stories extolling his tactical genius, elevating his status not just as a capable leader, but as a military savant. Napoleon also commissioned artists to create paintings, sculptures, and other works that depicted him in a messianic light. Famous paintings like Jacques-Louis David's The Coronation of Napoleon not only immortalized him as a ruler, but also as a God-anointed figure, elevating his position to almost celestial levels. These works were strategic in their placement, displayed in prominent public spaces and official buildings, thus embedding his heroic image into the everyday lives of the French. The manipulation of public symbols and rituals was perhaps most vividly displayed in the design and distribution of the Napoleonic Code. This comprehensive set of laws not only reformed the French legal system, but also served as a symbol of Napoleon's wisdom and his commitment to justice and order. The Code abolished feudal privileges and promoted principles such as the freedom of religion, property rights, and civil liberties, aligning with the Enlightenment ideals and portraying Napoleon as a progressive leader. Moreover, Napoleon's decision to crown himself in the coronation ceremony at Notre Dame was a powerful ritual that reinforced his self-image as the savior of France. By placing the crown on his own head, he declared his authority to be supreme, unmediated by the church or any other institution. This act was a clear message that he was the architect of his destiny, and by extension, that of France. Public holidays and celebrations were also part of Napoleon's strategy to reinforce his image. His birthday and the anniversary of his coronation were marked by grand festivities, which not only celebrated his life, but also served as reminders of his central role in the nation's achievements. These events were often lavish and included parades, fireworks, and public speeches that praised his leadership. And through these methods, Napoleon effectively crafted the persona of a savior destined to lead France to greatness. His control over the narrative through censorship, his use of propaganda to glorify his deeds, and his manipulation of public symbols and rituals to embody national values all served to consolidate his power and embed his legacy in the fabric of French identity. This image-making not only facilitated his political ambitions, but also left a lasting impact on how leadership and power are portrayed in the political sphere. Napoleon's legacy as a leader who reshaped France is inseparable from his mastery of the art of public perception, proving that power is as much about image as it is about action. Thank you for watching.